boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have in it is Before We Live, a new city builder game which is mostly non-violent, alright? It is developed by a developer team which I don't know, and it is using Unity. And for this game I will be using 900p median settings because it provides a good average between graphics quality and frame rate. And since this is pretty much a city builder, you don't really need to have those great 60 frames per second. You will be better off with something in between, alright? So first of all, let's take a look at the requirements, and as you can see, these guys only ask for a GTX 550 Ti, which is kind of an old card over here, 4 gigs of RAM, and even we have specifications here for laptop CPUs, so good requirements in fact. So like the usual, I did test the game with multiple settings. First of all, I tried with 720p on median. I got mostly 60 frames per second, but still it had some drops. Then I raised it to high settings, which looks absolutely great, honestly. It averages around 36 with a 1% wall of 28, which means that the game did drop from 60. And though, because of that, I decided to go with 900p median, where the average was 49 frames per second with a 1% of 39, or you can also play at 1080p median settings with an experience above 30 frames per second. Although, I decided to keep up with 900p median instead of 720p high or 1080p median, because I feel like these little tests that I'm conducting over here might not be as demanding as the game more forward. I mean, I don't really know what to expect in forward gameplay, but what I can expect is that you will have more houses and more demanding stuff in your planet, which will make the game much more demanding. And so I believe that the 720p settings or the 1080p median might run into serious issues with fluidity in, few forward events in this game. That's why I think that 900p median settings, despite you are having in here around 50 frames per second or around 40, possibly later into this game you might be running the game at around 30s if the planet gets very complex. I don't also expect this planet to get very complex anyway, because what I feel like this game will do, it will force you out to move out to discover other planets, because eventually you will finish, or you will get your supplies and resources from your planet depleted, and you need to find other planets so you can continue your life. Or for some reason this planet might not have the same type of resources as the other planets, so you need to find other planets to compensate the lack of some resources that you have on this one. So like I did told you, this game, it is mostly non-violent. So this is the type of game which you don't be kind of trying to conquer all the planets from other players or any other type of enemy. No, the only objective in here, it is for you to discover other planets, create your own economy. So it is essentially just that, alright? Yes, there will be some type of fights which you will get into, but I would say that more than 90% of the game will be focused in you trying to raise the planets, trying to raise the economy, trying to keep the pips, which is these little guys over here, satisfied with you, satisfied with the food, the water, and all the accommodations that you provide them. And yes, this is essentially, yes, a city builder with this aesthetics, with hexagon style of gameplay, and for me it feels really interesting, looks very beautiful and optimized, and very scalable across pretty much all platforms. Although that is a bad thing about it. Many people don't really care about this, but I know that most games don't like it. So this game, it is an Epic Store exclusive, so you can't purchase this game from Steam. You need to buy it through Epic. And despite it is very cheap, it only costs $17.99, so it's a very cheap price. I know that most of you guys don't buy through Epic stores and just get the free games that they offer. And well, I know that. I know this is a bad point for the game, but still it is a very good game. Also, the scores on Metacritic have been reasonably good, so the game it is scored around 70, even the user score from 0 to 10, users are giving it 7, alright, it is not perfect, you know, it seems that it is not really an ambitious game, but it does a good job to, you know, to provide good gameplay and having good times in here, because most of this game, despite you will be just assembling the planets, it will be very zen-like, it will be very chill, it will be a very good experience in my opinion, if that's what you want, alright? And I think this game really does that well. Alright, so guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about before we leave on the MX130 or the GT940 MX with GDDR5. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the gameplay, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.